Hi, Aaron. I think our community needs a new word, prejection. When men complain about not having dates, the typical retort is, have you asked women out? The answer is usually no, and then blame is shifted onto the man, which I agree with in most instances. If you are bored, link below, there's the book of numbers. And one of the cool things about doing research, you get numbers and data, is it opens your eyes and it really focuses in like, hey, what are the key things you can do, or what are the you know, it's like, hey, over here, this is what's happening. And the three things you can do to drastically improve your chances with women. I mean, 50-fold. One, be tall. Okay. Two, be good looking, be in shape. You can do that. You can change that. And three, ask out more women. That is true. And when you look at most guys, they have not asked out most women. But here's his interesting insight. I would argue that most rejection does not occur in the form of the man making a proposition and then the woman rejecting. I would argue that most rejection is prejection. Women preject men when they don't want to be asked out and don't want to have to say no and create an awkward moment. Instead, what they do is avoid being in the same social circle as unattractive men, avoid eye contact, use short one-word sentences when talking to him, casually mention my boyfriend does whatever. Never break off from the group of her friends so she's never potentially one-on-one with a man. Oh, that was you boys don't know what it's like to approach the herd. There's one good-looking gal out of the herd and you go up and talk to them and you got to deal with them all and they all giggle. I don't know. I'm not kidding. Once you ask out 5, 6 gals, it's like jumping in the water, man. It doesn't bother you anymore. The rejection just becomes I don't know, entertaining even after a bit. Make yourself unattractive or be catty or excessively shy. So yes, the man hasn't asked out women, but he's never seen a situation where it'd be socially okay for him to ask her out. I think that that is how the vast majority of rejection actually occurs, is prejection. The handkerchief's never dropped, so it's never okay for him to ask her out. I think that more accurately describes most rejection, more so than him just not asking women out. Some men never ask women out because these men are universally prejected. That's my claim. Is that a pathetic excuse or is there legitimacy to it? What are your thoughts on it? Like MGTOW, I know there is some legitimacy to your theory because it's true. But also like MGTOW and any other kind of excuses, it can be used as an excuse not to try, right? I have tremendously more respect for a young man under 30 where I go up to him, I say, well, I've had this with clients. I want to get a girl. All right. How many women have you asked out in the past month? The answer is almost invariably zero. It's like, dude, all right, not expecting you to be Troy Francis or me circa the 90s or the aughts. But it's not that hard to ask out one girl a month, right? And I am 100% in agreement with you that women will send off whatever you want to call it, vibes. They won't drop the handkerchief. A lot of things I think is unconscious that they do unconscious. They're not even aware. They know they don't like you. They sense maybe you're about to ask them out or talk to them. And, look at Brie, look at smiling Brie Larson with a permanent resting bitch face. I mean, she could be, I think permanent resting bitch face is almost an epitomal example of what I'm talking about. where women generally don't wanna be asked out by you. They're unaware their face is frowning, their hinterbrain or the brainstem is like, "Make a frown, mouth." The mouth goes, "Mm." And then you say, "Man, you got PBR-BF," or whatever it's called. And they're like, "What are you talking about? I feel perfectly fine. What do I really have?" They're shocked. They don't realize they have that, uh, PRBF setting. So I think this is very real on an unconscious level. I think this is very real on a conscious level, taking actions like you said, generally avoiding entire areas. I mean, that's choosing which pond to fish in. They're not gonna go to a nerd convention. They're gonna go whatever hot nightclub or whatever. I would throw that out of your analysis. I wouldn't, you guys don't go where, "Hey, let's go to a fat chick convention." Oh my god, I don't wanna ask out anyone here. I'm like, yeah. Uh, I think in regular going out and socializing, parties, house parties, a regular bar, handful of nightclubs. Um, they'll definitely, what were they? Bitch shields, that's what it's called. Girls would go out with their girlfriends, they get their bitch shields up. You couldn't approach them. That's old school. That might even be mystery from like 2002. You got the herd, right? Um, there's things they will do. Like I want to send off the vibes. Sometimes they just want to be left alone, and they will perhaps not dress well. I mean, what was it? There was that cute little provocateur thing. She ended up getting married anyway. Re- Man repellent fashion, maybe. But yes, women will consciously and unconsciously engage in behaviors that would other that would deter a man who would otherwise have asked you out. And yes, it is real. Like you need, because here's the proposition every guy's got, whether you're at a bar or at the grocery store or the post in public, the guy doesn't know. He has no idea. And you could just do cold approach, go up and talk to girls, which I recommend you do, not daily or but just to do it. It's a good salesmanship punching bag or practice. But you have no idea whether the girl is interested or not, with just standard baseline neutral behavior. And so in times past, a girl might wink or might look. Girls do that now, but even in my day, it was barely discernible. Plus, a lot of times you go up and talk to them and they'd shoot you down or they'd be cold and you're like, okay, well, I misread that. I'm not kidding. I had enough false positives, let's call it, where you look like, oh, wait, oh no, no. So they were such subtle behaviors, they probably weren't sincere. They may not be aware they were doing it. But if they don't want men's attention or they don't want your attention, yes, they won't look at you. When you talk to them, I got a boyfriend that they don't have a boyfriend. If they did have a boyfriend, if you were hot enough, they'd go bang you. They had a boyfriend. It doesn't matter. Oh, Aaron, hot, especially girls in their teens and 20s. Uh, yeah, so there is some authenticity. And I would say you should, and it's kind of a favor or a polite communication. So you don't embarrass yourself, you don't bother her, you don't get your feelings hurt, right? It it's not everything women do is mean or evil. It's it's kind of an accommodation where if they're not giving you hints or they're not smiling or they don't sit next to the table, right? If women are interested, you will know. And the silence you hear is your answer more often than not. Because I'll tell you, the vast majority of times you go up, you try to talk to a girl, party or this, or they weren't interested. They really weren't. It was pulling teeth. And you should. You know what? You should wait for an opportunity. Um, and if you're getting bad vibes, it's your your radar isn't off. Your radar is probably right. And I would imagine between men getting soy boy and fatter, women getting fatter, I mean, younger people too, the anti-male rhetoric and men are the enemy and they're your competitors and they're your adversaries and men just want one and all that. They definitely got their bitch shields up. Both men and women are not that interested in one another. Women are definitely not as attracted to men as they used to be because men are less attractive than they used to be. Let's be honest. And they're not going to send those signs. If they are going to send the signs, I think they're even more watered down than they were before. And I can totally forgive you guys if you don't pick up on them because they're so minor and unnoticeable. They're not clear. And yeah, if you just, yes, it is a reality. A woman can project you and you should thank them for it because it's saving you wasting your time and some embarrassment. Um, but like I said before, you have a very great word for a very real phenomenon, but now I'm afraid it's going to be abused. People are going to run with it. It's like, oh, dude, she was projecting me, bro. Totally projected me. Little do you know that was the case for most of human history. Most women were not that interested in you. Uh, and whereas a girl, keep in mind, very few women are going to wink or flirt back, right? Very few. Some girls might look at you and you're like, oh, I'll be honest, the majority of women that looked at me, I never went and talked to because for a while there I went up and it was a pain in the ass to talk to them. um, the majority of instances you would have been projected anyway, but you should still keep a radar out there and ask the girls out that you think are expressing some kind of interest. Now, of course, this presupposes they make it clear, but that's not going to always be the case. That was my point. The vast majority of women are not going to make it very clear. A lot of girls I asked out and there was nothing. Like you could have asked, was she interested? I'd say it's a 50-50 shot. I'd have no idea. And they were, which is another reason. Well, don't wait around for a very clear signal. Go up and talk to them. And if they're just pulling teeth and they're not responding back, remember, conversation is a two-person sport like ping pong, badminton, or tennis. If they don't hit the ball back and they don't hit back with some fun, okay, well, okay, cool. See you. Bye. That's just them telling you no. So there are women that want you to ask them out. I think somewhere from one or two of them out there. In a country of 170 million women, one or two gotta want to say yes, be interested. But do not use projection as an excuse. Oh, she was totally projecting me. Look, you got a gut feeling, right? There's an animal with teeth watching me while I hike. Something's not right. It's the same thing. Body language. Is the girl looking at you? Is she kind of smiling? Do women smile anymore? I don't know. My day, occasionally they'd smile. Are they turning and facing you? That kind of thing. Go ahead and ask them out. But if they're not, they're giving you the cold shoulder. They're like, yeah, you could probably leave them be. But it's not going to be that clear cut. You're not. There'll be an instinct, a gut reaction. You're like, yeah, this one isn't right. And then there's going to be the I don't know, and then there's going to be the very clear signal. I'd say the very clear signal, 1%. You don't know, 65%, and the remaining 33 would be projection. We just like, yeah, I got a bad feeling on this one. And ladies are, why wasn't I had PBRF. I didn't know. Well, it's too bad. That's a you problem. Maybe sit differently. I don't know. But yes, it is a very real thing. I like that term. It describes it perfectly. Everyone, please do not abuse it. And if the right girl smiles or winks, or it happens to be the right place at the right time, certainly ask out girls in person. And there you go. Let's go super chats, late night Cappy. We got one. Sam Whiskey, most American name in America. If she gives you a side hug, it means there's no second. Wait, hang on. Where do you get a side? Oh, you mean like you're on the first date? And then it's ending and whatever. You walk up to the stoop. Ah, the stoop. I have the answer to that. And she gives you like a side hug. There's no second date. There's no sex. I used to go in for first date. This is long ago. You kiss on the first date. And now the comment section will be filled with a bunch of fake alpha. I always kiss, bro. Shut up. Shut up. The answer is no, you don't. Let me tell you how the stoop is your friend. Wait, Cappy, what's the stoop? What's this foreign world you have called the stoop? Let me tell you about the day back in the 80s and the 90s, kids. So you would walk her to her parents' house, just like today, women live at home. That was the same thing back in the day. So there you'd be a 21-year-old kid walking this 20-year-old girl to her fucking parents' place. Anyway, so there's the stoop, whether or not it's their own apartment or house. The stoop. You let the woman, you walk her to the door is essentially what you do. But I'd always stay on the sidewalk. I wouldn't step up on the stoop. And I'd be down there and I make sure even a foot away from the stoop because let the girl walk in front. And I just say, all right, have a good night. And then because you know what? The first kissing on the first date, it never works. You always got the cheek. Yeah, you don't want the cheek. Cheek? Yeah, you lost your pride, man. You want your pride? You lost your pride. Staying down on the stoop. See you, babe. And you just turn around and walk away. And then I think that actually helped because you weren't trying to go for the standard kiss on the first date. A lot of times you didn't even know the one enough to want to kiss them anyway, you were just horny. Do I kiss on the first date? I don't know. I was raised by boomer parents, sort of raised. I don't really know any. They didn't give me instruction manual. They just told me to be myself and get my foot in the door. Boomer advice. It's like 3 fucking shitty pages written in crayon. The last page, I need more money. But yeah, I like standing down below. Like, yeah, good night. And then I'd call him and I'd probably not hear from him again. So but yeah, I can't remember when I went in for a kiss on the first date and it succeeded. I don't think you want to play cool, man. You want to play cool. Pull back a little bit. Pull back. Be the one guy that doesn't try to go in for a kiss on the first date. I'm being clever. Meanwhile, she's fucking her drug dealer. I'm like, okay. That's why she had to get back at 9 p.m. It's awfully early to end the date. There you guys go. All right. See you guys later. Toodles. Oh, link below. The book of Numbers. There you go. Read that.